AM 630. WMAL.
7:37 on WMAL, where Washington comes to talk. Today it is Brian Wilson in with Chris Moody. Mr. Neiman is off on paternity leave, had a new boy delivered into the world yesterday, Mr. Charlie Neiman. Congratulations to the Neiman family. You know, we're going to talk football for a little while, Chris. We're going to put the politics aside. We're going to talk about football. And we have on the line Trevor Matich, who always brings us a great deal of analysis and thoughtful commentary about the Washington Redskins. Now, Trevor, you know, many people say, well, when it comes to offensive players, the key to success is, of course, having a good quarterback. And some people say, well, then you got to protect that quarterback, so you got to have a good offensive line. For me, for my money, I've always thought that the key player on any team, key offensive player, was the long snapper. And I say that because out of respect to you, you were a long snapper. And I want to talk about this guy, Nick Sundberg, who was a long snapper. He breaks his arm in the game, and does he give up? Does he walk away? Is he carted off? No. He continues to play for the rest of the game with a broken arm. Now, as a long snapper, tell me how difficult is that?
Well, first let me correct one thing. It's not that I was a long snapper. We never really mentally retire, so I consider myself still to be a long.
So
snapper.
You're like now. Did you think about saying, excuse me, Coach Shanahan still can do it?
Of course I did. Of course I thought that. Now, it's absurd. They wouldn't even take the phone call, but self-delusion works for me in that regard. And I'll tell you this, though, there was no delusion about what Nick Sundberg did. Broke a bone in his arm in the first half and kept on playing for the second half and snapped. And there was one slightly errant snap. Wasn't terrible, a little bit to the right of the punter, but he was able to get it. But with a broken arm, for goodness sake, I mean, that was extraordinary. Now, let me tell you where I can relate to that. My last year with the Redskins, I tore 2 inches of rotator cuff tendon clean off the bone on my left shoulder. 2 inches of tendon torn clean off the bone. This was in the third game of the season. And we found a doctor who told me what we wanted to hear, which was that I couldn't hurt it any worse if I continued to play. So for the next 3 months, I continued to long snap for the Redskins. Now, I couldn't lift my left arm. I couldn't rotate it out. But because of the nature of a long snap, that rotator didn't fire until I decelerated at the end of the snap. And then it felt like an explosive went off in my shoulder every single time. But I was still able to do that. So that's different from a broken arm. You know, but the kind of pain that you're dealing with there just goes to show the mental side that Sundberg had to deal with, because he knew that every time he snapped that ball and put his arm under torque, which you do, it was going to be excruciatingly painful. He did it. And I'll tell you this, when you see him out on the practice field, he's a long snapping specialist, hangs out with the kickers, doesn't sweat a whole lot. You know, and the offensive linemen would look over there and just consider him a kicker. Well, those offensive linemen now look at him in a totally different light, because they play in pain and they understood what he went through in sacrifice.
All right. Well, and aside from all that, the Redskins just looked amazing. RG3, at the top, the Redskin offense is at the top right now in the NFL.
Yeah, imagine that. Yeah, they're the best offense in the league right now. Yeah, the thing that was great about that was that it wasn't that the Saints messed up. I mean, if the Saints just blew it and the Redskins took advantage kind of by accident, that's one thing. But the Redskins went out there with an outstanding game plan. They hit the Saints in the mouth. They executed, and they did what they wanted to do. Now, that's encouraging, because it was the Redskins imposing their offensive will on the Saints, not the Saints messing up.
So what's your prediction this year? Do we Washingtonians have a winning season? We had one with the Nats here. We're looking good in baseball. Can we get the same thing for football this year?
You know what, Chris? In politics, it's all about the spin of expectations, right? When the debates come up, the presidential debates in this campaign, both sides will likely spin the expectations down so that if their guy just shows up and doesn't pass out, it's a victory for him, right? So I don't want to put the Redskins in the Super Bowl just yet. But the thing is, Robert Griffin III had one of the best debuts of any quarterback in NFL history. And I think that's encouraging for the Redskins going forward. So I thought originally they'd win 6-7 games this year, and then build for the future. But that was a quality win, and they have a chance, if they can stay healthy, especially on the O-line, to make a playoff run. This is just after one game. Don't want to get too excited, but it looks better than it did before this game was played.
Well, let's talk about this week's opponent, the Rams. While the Redskins are at the top on offense, they're 31st. So this shouldn't be a really difficult. I mean, they're all difficult games, but I mean, this one, don't you feel pretty good about it?
I feel good, but the Redskins have struggled with the Rams in recent years, and the Rams really lost at Detroit. But really, there were a couple of goofy things that happened. They really were in more control of that game and should have won it. So the thing the Redskins have in their favor in this game, more than anything else, is that for all the problems of injury that the Redskins offensive line has had, the Rams offensive line in that first game really got banged up really badly. And the strength of this whole Redskins team is the pass rush and the defensive front seven attacking that line. So when you get into the X's and O's, I think the Redskins should win this game for very sound football reasons, in that they have a superiority in attacking the banged-up Rams offensive line, and I'd be disappointed if they didn't dominate there.
Well, the thing I learned out of all this, Trevor, is that apparently long snappers are like Marines. They never retire. There are no former Marines and apparently no former long snappers.
That is true, and we wear our injuries with pride.
All right. Now, Trevor Matt, it's always a pleasure to have you. We'll check in with you, see how the game went this weekend.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Chris.
All right.
Thank you.